Dear students, now we are going to discuss the comparison between combinational circuits and sequential circuits.
Digital logic circuits are broadly classified into combinational logic circuits and sequential logic circuits. The sequential logic circuits are further classified into synchronous logic circuits and asynchronous logic circuits. Let's discuss the comparison between combinational logic circuits and digital logic circuits. Let's start with the definition of combinational circuits and sequential circuits. The logic circuit whose output at any time depends only on the present input is known as combinational circuits. So in combinational circuits, the output depends only on the present input. The logic circuit whose output depends on present input and past outputs is known as sequential circuits. So in sequential circuits, the output depends on present input as well as past output. So in order to store the past outputs, the sequential circuits need memory elements. Okay, so here we can see the diagrammatic representation of combinational circuit and sequential circuit. Here in combinational circuit, the output depends only on the present input, so there is no memory elements. But in sequential circuits, the output depends on the inputs as well as the past outputs. Okay, so here we need to have memory unit to store the previous outputs. In combinational circuits, memory units are not required. But in sequential circuits, memory units are needed to store the past outputs. It is very easy to design due to the absence of memory elements, but sequential circuits are little bit harder to design when compared with combinational circuits. Its operation is faster in speed than sequential circuits because the output depends only on the present inputs which are applied simultaneously to the circuits. So its operation is faster, but in sequential circuits its operation is slower than the combinational circuits because the output depends on both the present inputs as well as past outputs. So for that its operation is slower than the combinational circuits. The combinational circuits needs more hardware for its realization. The sequential circuit needs less hardware for its realization. It is expensive in cost. The sequential circuit is cheaper one. Examples for the combinational circuits are adder, subtractor, multiplexer, etc. The sequential circuits here are counters, shift registers, etc.